The mother says, "Shut up. My God, I can't take it anymore," and Paolo doesn't come and tells the baby to shut up again. Soon her husband appears and she says, "Then thank God you arrived," and he says, "What was love?" She says, "I can't take it anymore, I'm tired," and he says, "What's wrong?" She says, "She cries all day and I don't sleep at all," and he says, "I know," and she says, "You know, but you spent the whole night sleeping and you don't wake up," and he says, "I was going to work in the morning," and she replied, "I'm exhausted and I can't take this life anymore, and I only had a child because you wanted it, and now you go to work and I have to get by," and he says, "Calm down, love. Let's try to hire someone to help you," and she says, "Help me? Am I the one who breastfeeds, or is someone going to breastfeed for me?" And he says, "I know, love, and I can't help you with that part, and have you made dinner?" She replied, "Are you asking me about dinner? I'm telling you that I'm tired and take this child," and he says, "I'll help you," and she says, "I don't want help, I want peace," and he says, "What do you mean peace? You're a mother now and you have to take responsibility," and she says, "I'm tired, I'm at my wit's end," and he says, "For God's sake, Tamara, that's exaggerating, she's just a baby, and she's not even crying anymore," and she says, "I'm tired, I can't stand living like this anymore, I can't stand hearing crying anymore, I can't stand changing diapers anymore, and I can't stand breastfeeding anymore," and he says, "Okay, you can't take it anymore, okay, and what are we going to do? And there's just a baby who cries, and if he could speak he would talk, and I need to go out to work and we can't afford to pay someone, but if you want I'll call my mother," and she says, "That'll give her to her mother and your mother raises her, because I don't care about this child anymore and I don't care about you anymore and I'm tired," and I walk away and you turn around and he says, "What are you talking about? So far it was a conversation and now you're telling me you're leaving? You're just stressed, you think about it," and she says, "I'm not stressed, I'm at my limit and I've thought and rethought and this is not what I want for my life and I'm leaving," and he says, "No, Tamara, calm down, Tamara, my God in heaven, and how could she leave us? Calm down, love, Daddy will take care of you." 10 years later, the father says, "Hi sweetheart. Shall we go to the park?" The girl says, "Let's go," and he says, "I love you so much, see daughter." And she says, "Me too." In the park the girl says, "Dad make me sulk on the swing?" He says, "Of course daughter, let's go." Tamara appears and says, "Then I'm going to go there, I need to take courage and look how beautiful she looks, my God, and I need to talk to her, but I don't even know what to say, then God gives me strength and I can't stand being away anymore, her not one more day, I'll go there." Tamara approaches and says, "Paolo?" He looks and says, "Tamara?" And she says, "Hi princess," and the girl asked, "Who is she, Daddy?" He replied, "It's nobody, she's a friend of Dad's," and he pulls her and she says, "I want to talk to my daughter," and he says, "You disappeared for 10 years and now you want to talk to your daughter?" She replied, I need to talk to her, I was sick and depressed," and Paolo says, "For her you're dead, and for me too," and she says, "Don't say that for God's sake, I love her," and he says, "What went through your head?" After 10 years of showing up in a square and after abandoning a baby, and now he tells me he wants to talk to her, and Tamara says, "I was sick, you didn't notice, and you didn't help me," and he says, "Didn't I help you? Is it my fault that you ran away? You left me with a baby that big and I didn't even know how to change a diaper, and you weren't there when she was sick, you weren't there when she cried, and you weren't there on her first day of school, and you weren't there when she was afraid tonight, and now you show up, you're not going to talk to her, and you're not going to go near her, because you're going to disappear again," and she says, "I'm not going, and I'm going to go there and talk to her, because she's my daughter and she's mine. Right?" And he says, "Right? Her right was to have stayed at home helping me or to have told me what was going on," and she says, "Excuse me, I'm going to talk to my daughter." Tamara goes to the girl and says, "Hi princess. How beautiful you are." The girl says, "Who are you?" Tamara says, "I'm your mother," and the girl says, "You're not my mother, Dad, let's go now," and he says, "Come daughter," and Tamara says, "Please don't do that," and Paolo says, "You'll never come after us again, out of our life." think carefully before you act, because once something has been done, it is done, and some attitudes can not only destroy your life, but also those you love.